Hey everyone, welcome to part 15 of this trophy and achievement guide for the original Final Fantasy VII. In this part, we're going to be focusing on Yuffie. We're going to get all of her limit breaks, and we're going to do her entire Wutai side quest, and that will get us some good trophies as well. So let's start by getting Sid out of the party with a PHS command, and we'll bring Yuffie in. Now let's look at her equipment. She's equipped with a Twin Viper for double Materia growth, and then she's got 4 slots and Talisman on. That just keeps her defense a little bit low, and that is good, so that helps us get more limit breaks. She has the cover materia, chocobo lure, counter attack, Bahamut 0, and then on her armor she's got contain, ultima, full cure, and finally enemy skill. So those green materia are supposed to raise up her magic stat very high. That will allow her to use her enemy skill like Aqua Lung to kill off the enemies very quickly and in one shot. Let's get aboard the Highwind, and we're going to fly over toward the Mideel area that is down toward the southeast corner of the map. So start flying in that direction, and soon you'll see some chocobo tracks on the ground. At that point, you're going to want to land the Highwind somewhere in the grassy area. And then we're going to run into the nearby forest and stay in that forest until we learn all of her limit breaks. So starting off, let's look at what she's got. She has one limit break called Greased Lightning. We need to use that 8 times in order to learn the next limit break. So let's get into a fight with a group of enemies called Headhunters. They look like little green grasshoppers with scythes for hands, and they're going to be very good at getting her to get her limit gauge up. Because we've got the cover materia on, she's going to be jumping in the way of most, if not all, of the physical attacks that these guys do. They don't do any magical attacks at all, which is really nice for us. We're just able to sit back and watch her get attacked, filling up that limit gauge. The problem here is that I had that counterattack materia on. I probably shouldn't have done that because that only slows the process down. She is going to every once in a while attack the enemy back, and we don't really want that. Instead, we just want to get that limit gauge up and then use Greased Lightning, and then we're going to keep doing that a few more times until we actually learn the next limit. Make sure that Cloud is on standby with that cure materia or the restore materia. We just want to be able to heal throughout the fight. Typically about the time that Yuffie gets down to half health is a good time for you to heal her. You do not want her to run out of her HP, because if that happens, then she'll die and she will completely lose everything in her limit gauge, which would be very bad. So you should be able to get multiple Greased Lightnings off in one battle, just because this attack is only a one target attack. You should be able to get 3 or 4 uses out of that with just one battle, and then you just have to repeat it 1 more time or 2 more times in order to get all 8 uses of Greased Lightning. So I'm just going to kind of skip ahead toward the end, just going kind of fast, and you'll see that we'll finish off this enemy using Greased Lightning, and then we'll get our rewards at the end. And now that we've used Greased Lightning 8 times, we get a new limit break called Clear Tranquil that actually heals you instead of damaging the enemy. Now let's look at what we have to do for the next thing. We've got to get 64 kills with Yuffie to unlock her next limit break. So we're just going to keep running around the same area, taking out the headhunters that we find here. If you just use 1 Aqua Lung from her, you should definitely be able to kill all the enemies in just one go. Probably is beneficial to take off that counterattack materia. We don't really need to level that up so much, and it's only slowing us down, so I definitely would recommend taking that off. I'm going to do that right after this fight. But here you go, just 1 Aqua Lung and all of these enemies are eliminated. They only have 2000 HP, so we're able to do just over that, and then that is going to be the end of the fight. After you get those 64 kills, you'll get the Landscaper limit break. This is another damaging attack, so we'll use it a certain number of times in battle in order to unlock the next limit break. Let's go into the menu, down to the limit option, and we're going to choose to set our level 2 limit, Landscaper, and we're going to use that 7 times in battle so that we can get our next limit break unlocked. This is where I do take off that counterattack materia because it was slowing us down, and we're going to just run around in this area again until we get into a fight with those headhunters, and we're going to once again go through that process of letting Yuffie get attacked until she gets all of her limit gauges up, and then we're going to keep using that Landscaper attack 7 times in battle to unlock the next one. I'm going to speed up the footage a little bit just because it is kind of a long process. If you want it to go faster, then actually move Yuffie to the front row, but be careful, you might have to heal her more often just because she will be taking a lot more damage. Here's the Landscaper attack. It does attack all enemies, and it does anywhere between 700 to 1400 damage, depending on if it's a critical hit or not. That means that you should be able to do this 2 or 3 times in a battle before you have to choose a new group of enemies to attack. That means that you'll probably have to do about 3 battles in total to get those 7 Landscaper uses. It shouldn't take too long, however, so just go ahead and keep on doing this until you defeat all of the enemies, and then you're going to get your next limit break unlocked. So I'm just going to let the rest of this fight play out, and then I'll come in at the end. Alright, and that is the end of grinding out those Landscaper attacks. We get our new limit break called Bloodfest. So let's go ahead and we're going to check that out in the limit menu real quick, and then we're going to see what we need to do in order to unlock our next one. We've completed levels 1 and 2 of Yuffie's limit breaks, but now we have to get 64 more kills with Yuffie to unlock the first limit break of her level 3 limits. So let's keep running around this area again. We're looking for those headhunters. We're going to finish them off with an aqua lung. They go down very easily, and this method is really great for not only catching up on the levels that we had missed out at the beginning of the run when we kept our level pretty low before the Materia Keeper fight, but we're also gaining a lot of experience for our Materia as well and leveling up those, and that's very important. Just for fun, I threw in this clip of using Bloodfest, that limit break that we just unlocked. It attacks a random enemy 10 times, and it does 0.625 times the normal amount of damage. It does scale with strength, and it is a physical attack, so if you have better equipment and better strength stats, that attack will do more. All in all, it's pretty good against a single target because it will do roughly 6 times her normal attack damage with just that one limit break. It's not so good with groups because it spreads out the damage a little bit too much, but definitely it is an effective attack. So here you see that we gained Gauntlet. That is our new limit break with Yuffie after getting those 64 kills. Let's go into the limit menu. We have to set the level 3 limit for Gauntlet so that we can use it in battle. And now we're going to use Gauntlet 6 times to unlock the final limit break that we need to teach her before teaching her her final limit break. So let's go ahead and get into a fight. Gauntlet is an attack that hits all enemies. It's pretty similar to Landscaper, and we're only able to do that 2 times per battle before it kills off the enemies. So this one will require us to get into 3 separate fights just in order to take out all the enemies. I'm once again going to speed up the footage as we go through this, and then I'm going to come in at the end of it so that we can unlock our final limit break. Just remember that you need to get into 3 separate fights, each one of those using the Gauntlet limit break 2 times in order to unlock the final one that we have to teach her. If you're around the same level that I am, it does take 2 uses of Gauntlet in order to finish off these groups of enemies, so I had to repeat this a couple times, but you'll see that after you get these 6 uses of Gauntlet done, then you'll get your next limit break called Doom of the Living. This is a direct upgrade to Bloodfest. Bloodfest attacked 10 times, and Doom of the Living attacks 15 times, so it's roughly 50% better than that other limit break. We do not have the item to teach Yuffie her final limit break yet. We actually have to do her whole side quest over in Wutai. So let's get healed up, and then we're going to hop aboard the Highwind and fly over toward Wutai, which is the crescent-shaped looking island or continent all the way on the far west side of the map. It is also more up toward the northern area for that, so start by flying over toward the northwest. You'll go over Corel, and you're going to keep on going past Nibelheim, past Rocket Town, past all of this, and then go across the ocean, and then you'll arrive over by Wutai. You will see that there is one little village looking thing here. We're just going to land, and then prepare yourself, because as soon as we get near to Wutai, we will have to get into a fight, and things will change pretty dramatically for us at that point. So once you're ready, then make sure that you're all saved up, and then approach Wutai, and you'll be in a cutscene. Wait! What the? Did something happen? I know this area pretty well. It gets pretty tough past here. Better get ready. Really? Something tells me I shouldn't trust you. Are you going to trick us again? No, it's really tough. There they are. Catch them. Shinra? Hey, that's not them. These are the other guys from before. Yuffie, you're not... I didn't know. I had nothing to do with this one. This one? Did you just say this one? So you were trying something. No, What should we do? Get them. Grab them and ask questions later. We're put into a fight with two pretty basic Shinra troopers here. They're not too difficult, but you'll see that there's something different about us, and that's most of our materia is missing. Not all of it. Yuffie actually doesn't take all of your materia if you have over a certain number. So if you've been diligent about collecting materia, there may be some ones that she won't give up. She tends to prioritize things like summons and support materia over things like basic magic spells. So you might still have like fire, lightning, ice sort of thing, but everything else will probably be missing at this point. Luckily for us though, most of Tifa's damage is going to come from her armor and her accessory and her weapon, and not so much from her materia setup. So we're still able to do a tremendous amount of damage from Tifa just because of that setup. What's going on? I thought something was odd. My materia is missing. Hey, we got a problem. Our materia's all gone. Hey, where's Yuffie? She's done it again. I'll never forgive her. She was after our materia from the beginning. She won't get away with this. I'm pretty sure she ran off north. Let's go after her. Let's have a quick look at our materia once again. Like I said, she will take almost everything except for the very basic things like a restore materia, ice, fire, lightning, and she will rob all of your party members together. So we have very little materia remaining. We actually don't need any of that, however, so don't worry so much about that. We can go on without all this materia. We will be getting all the materia back, however, so you don't need to worry about missing out on anything. So now let's exit out toward the north, and we'll be back out onto the world map. And now we're going to go into Wutai once again, but this time we actually get into the city. Hey! Yuffie's going to take off running toward the left. Let's follow her over there past this first building, and then outside of the next building there's going to be a sign, so let's read it. So this is the sign that tells us that there are Turtles Paradise posters all throughout the world. We've gotten 5 out of the 6 of them so far. You do have to read the sign in order to collect the reward, however. So make sure that you read this, and then when you're done with it, we're going to go into the Turtles Paradise, which is right next to where we're standing. You'll see the Turks here. Let's go over and talk to Elena. You? How did you get here? Never mind that. I guess it's fate that brought us together. Get ready to die. Elena, you talk too much. What? What are we doing way out here in the middle of nowhere? We're taking a vacation and resting up from our work. Now our vacation is ruined. But... Even the booze tastes bad now. Sorry. You can talk to them more if you want to, but it's not required. Let's go ahead and leave. And now we're going to go over toward the top of the screen and into the next building. There's a treasure chest in this room. Let's go ahead and open it. Received MP Absorb Materia. Stole MP Absorb Materia. Let's keep chasing Yuffie. We'll leave this room and then backtrack towards the Turtle's Paradise, and then we're going to go over toward the right and keep going back toward the entrance, but we're not going to leave. Instead, we're going to go into the house all the way on the right here. Oh no, more weirdos. No, these aren't like the one from a while ago, but these ones look weird too. Let's go over and we can interact with this little divider wall here, and we'll find a hiding Yuffie. And we'll chase her outside once more. We're going to run back toward the Turtle's Paradise, and there's going to be a large pot out front of it. We're going to go and interact with it. You'll see that it's shaking. That's the good indication that that's where she is. Our party members are going to spread out, blocking the exits, and now we just have to go and push X a couple times in front of it to continue to punch it until Yuffie pops out. You can't get away, Yuffie. Oh, okay. I know. I was wrong. You win. I'll give you back your materia. And now she's going to lead us over to her house. So our reports were right. He is here on vacation. We finally found him. Get the Turks here for backup. What a drag. What was that? We're off duty now and can't save your butts. We know you're off duty, but... If you knew, then don't bother us. Looking at you is making me sober. But you all have orders from headquarters to look for him too. Alright, fine. We'll get him without any help from the Turks. Just you see. And don't think that headquarters isn't going to hear about this. Reno, do you think that was really such a good idea? I mean, is that the way a professional, a Turk, would act? Elena, don't misunderstand. Those who sacrifice themselves for their jobs aren't pros, just fools. Rude? Well, I don't buy that. Goodbye. Relax. She's not a child. Let her have her way. I know. The materia, right? I have it stored in a safe place. Follow me. When Yuffie leaves the room, follow her through the door and go downstairs. Now before you go into the main room, go down this hallway and you'll find the 6th and final Turtles Paradise poster on the wall, and this is number 6. Drink at the Turtles Paradise and talk about Wutai. To find Turtles Paradise, look for the big pot outside. Well, we've already been there, so that doesn't matter so much. Let's go into this room and talk to Yuffie. I've been hearing that ever since I was little. Before I was born, Wutai was a lot more crowded and more impressive. You see what it looks like now, right? Just a tourist trap. After the war, we got peace, but we lost something else. Now look at Wutai. That's why, if I had lots of materia, I could... Listen, Yuffie, I don't care about the history of Wutai or your feelings. You've got our materia, and I want it back now. If you give it back now, we'll drop the whole thing. I know that. That switch, the lever on the left, materia's in there. Let's run over to the big machine that says off and we'll interact with the left side lever. It doesn't matter which one you push, I'm just going to do the left one. Either way, the result is the same. What's this? Never trust anyone that easily. The materia's mine. Tough. You want your materia? Then go find it yourself. Yeah, that's right. And when you're looking for the materia, remember you gotta steal it. Steal, get it? See ya. Oh man, what a drag. Let's flip the switch again to get our party members out of the cage. And now we're going to go chase her back outside. Let's go ahead and leave the room out the bottom right corner. Let's run down toward the entrance, but don't go outside. Instead, go left back toward Turtle's Paradise. We're going to go right past that, and we're going to go toward the northern part. We need to run along the river all the way toward the left, and we're going way back past the tree line, all the way back by the big pagoda in the distance. And in this new part, we're going to go over toward the building on the left. We're going to go through the doorway and then interact with the big gong over here. We're going to sound this thing, and then there's going to be a door that will pop open. We'll run around, go down in there for a scene. Let go! I said let go! Hey, who do you think Ow! What are you doing, jerk? You. Ho, ho. Ho hi, ho hi, ho hi hi. Corneo? Ho hi. I finally found a new chickie. 2 for 1, in fact. 2? Hey, let go of me. You're gonna regret this. Ho hi, ho hi, ho hi. Before you follow Corneo, go to the right side to grab the treasure chest containing a swift bolt, and the left side has a treasure chest containing an elixir. Now we're going to head upstairs for another scene. There he is. It's Corneo. Don't let him get away. Attack! Corneo is surprisingly quick on his feet. He was able to dodge the charging Shinra troopers, and now we have to fight them instead. Luckily, these guys are very basic. They can only do some normal attacks, and they can try to put you to sleep, but it doesn't really matter so much. Tifa makes this fight really a joke, and Cloud's pretty strong too. It should only take a couple normal attacks to finish these guys off, so go ahead, let yourself go crazy, finish these guys off quickly, and then we're going to keep on going. After the fight, we're going to exit out the bottom of the screen and we're going to find ourselves inside Godo's house. Let's go over toward the bottom side here. We can go into this back room and there's going to be a secret wall here that we can interact with, taking us into this back hallway. If we go toward the right, we can run down this hallway and open up this treasure chest to get a hairpin. That's a new weapon for Red 13, which honestly isn't very good. Uniquely though, it is a ranged weapon for him, so he's able to attack from the back row and do full damage without being aided by long range materia. We'll follow the hallways around and then we're going to exit out the bottom part here and we'll find ourselves outside where Reno and Rude are running around. So let's go talk to them. Corneo's good at escaping. Elena. Let's go, Rude. We'll give them a taste of what the Turks can do. That sounded okay. If he has Elena, that's going to make things a little difficult. And, okay, Corneo took Yuffie from us. And without Yuffie, there's no way we'll get our Materia back. Don't misunderstand. We have no intention of joining you. We're only agreeing not to fight each other for now. That's fine. We have no intention of cooperating with you either. Now, which direction did Corneo run off? Nice attitude. Here's a clue. It's the most obvious place. Let's follow Reno out the bottom right corner, and now we have to run down the path along the river, and we're going to go over by the save point. We do have a boss fight coming up soon, so let's go ahead and make sure that we're all healed up, and then save the game before we continue on toward the north. We're going to go across the bridge, then over into the forest area by the Chao statues. Let's go up and talk to Reno again. You're finally here. Let's split up. You do whatever it takes, but don't endanger Elena. Don't worry, we won't do anything to hurt Yuffie. For now. They're both going to run up the path. Let's follow Rude. We're going to go all the way over toward the left side of the screen, and then that will transition into a new area. Let's go talk to Rude. Quite a chatterbox today. Let's go out the right side, and now we're going to keep going down, and then we can go up the path in the middle. There are some enemies in this location, but they're all pretty easy. I'm just going to choose to run away from all of them, however, to save our HP for later. We're going to go up this path and then over toward the right side, and this is where Reno is going to be hanging out. Stop fooling around. The enemy is not going to wait for us, you know. Let's follow him back, and then we're going to go up toward the top of the screen and then loop over toward the left and go out the left side. From here, we'll see Rude over by this door, and then he's going to go inside. Let's follow him in there. Now let's go over, open up this treasure chest, and inside of it is going to be a Dragoon Lance, a new weapon for Sid. And then there's a bunch of fire around here. We can go over and interact with it, and because we got the Leviathan scales from the submarine dock when we were about to do that mini game, we're able to extinguish these flames when the scale of the sea god shines. We have to do this first one 2 times to get the fire to die down, and then we can go over and open up this treasure chest, and inside of it is going to be the Oritsuru, a pretty good weapon for Yuffie. Now we're going to go over toward the top, circling around toward the bottom now, and we're going to interact with this fire, and that's going to cause the fire to die down, and inside of it is a Materia. So let's go over and grab it. It's going to be the Steel as well Materia. This is kind of like Added Cut, where this time if you do something, it's also going to try to steal at the same time. So it doesn't have a whole lot of uses, but you can grab that anyway just for fun. Let's exit this fiery room, and now we're going to go up the path and toward the right to find Reno again. Let's talk to him. You all thought they might be here too, huh? We were way off. There's no way they could get this far. Now let's follow Reno out the bottom part, and then we're going to go all the way down to get to the place where Corneo is waiting for us. Let me go! Delicious, scrumptious. I think I've just found a new hobby. Which shall it be? Should I take her? Hey, I'm a Turk. You can't get away with this. Or maybe her. Oh God, if I knew this was gonna happen, I would have taken those rope lessons more seriously. I've made my choice. My companion for the night will be the cheerful one. Grossness! Don't mess with me, old man. You don't even have any materia. Ooh, and she's saucy too. Wee wee. Alright, that's it. Hee-haw. What's going on? Who's there? Oh man, Cloud! Well, long time no see. Don't tell me you forgot. That fall into the trap really hurt. You Midgar hyena. Be quiet. None of you know how much I've suffered since then. It's a long story, but... We don't want to hear it. Just let them go. You guys are serious. Good, good. This time, I'm not fooling around either. Why did you kill my little apps? I'm gonna make you play with my new pet so you won't interfere in my search for a bride. Raps, come here! Here we have a boss fight against Raps, and it's actually pretty easy. There's only one thing to watch out for, and that's his Arrow 3 attack. It does a moderate amount of damage to one party member, so you can see it does about half of Barret's health and damage. That's okay though, we won't be taking a whole lot more damage than that for the rest of this fight. He's only got 6,000 HP. Tifa's normal attacks with her equipment set up means that she'll do over a third of his health in damage every single time she attacks. So it should really only take 2 or 3 rounds of attacks before you eliminate all 6,000 of Rap's HP and the fight will be over. Our reward for this fight is 3,200 experience, 33 AP, 20,000 gil, and a peace ring. Wait! Just wait a second! Shut up. Just listen to me, it won't take long. Why do you think a bad guy like me would swallow his pride and plead for his life? Let's choose option 2 because he's sure to win. Right. Yeah! I'm so pissed! Once I push this button, they'll fall and we'll have squashed tomatoes! Ugh. Coward! Tricky Morgan Freeman! Now, give me your women too! I guess I have the last laugh. No, that would be us. Huh? What's going on? Who's there? The Turks? You knew this was gonna happen ever since you leaked that secret. We're gonna take care of you, personally. Then they're all coming with me! Ugh. Good timing, Rude. Let's get to work. Alright, Corneo, this'll be over quick, so listen up. Why do you think we went to all the trouble of teaming up with those guys to get you? 1, because we're ready to die. 2, because we're sure to win. Or 3, because we're clueless. 2. Number 2? All wrong. No, wait, stop! The correct answer was... because it's our job. Oh, thank you very much. I never thought you'd come. Elena, don't act so weak. You're a Turk. Yes, sir.
Never thought you'd ever help us.
Yes, this is Reno. Yes, yes. I'll get on it right away. Was that the company? Yeah, they want us to find Cloud. Are we on? No, today's our day off. Hey, who cares about that? Get me down! Whew, perfect. Now the materia is back in its rightful place. Hey, the order is all messed up. Huh? Oh, it'll be all right. Don't be so picky. Anyways, that sure was close. No, normally I would kick their butts. Boom! Bang! That Corneo guy's a real pain. I'd rather deal with my dad than with that guy. You know, some of those Turk guys are pretty good, huh? At least after all that, we got the materia back. Now come on, everybody, let's continue our journey. Oh, hey, wait! Oh, all right. Here, I'll give this to you guys. Here, look! Received MP absorb materia. Come on, wait! No matter what you think, I'm going with you! Next time. We're automatically back outside of Wutai, but let's turn around and go back in. There's a few more things we have to do here. Let's start by running down the path directly in front of us, and we'll go into this small house at the end of the path. There's a bunch of cats to walk past, and then you want to interact with the staircase to climb up to the top level, and then run toward the camera to go into a new area with a treasure chest that contains the HP absorb materia. That's very important, so grab it and then head back out. Now we're going to interact with that staircase again to climb back down, and then run toward the camera to leave. We're going to go down past the Turtle's Paradise, and we're going to get ready to do the Fighting Pagoda. It's a series of individual fights with just Yuffie and one other opponent. So we're going to go over here and get ready for that, and I'll show you all the equipment and materia setup that you need only on Yuffie. So first, we're going to use a PHS command to take Bear out of the party and put Yuffie in because she is required for these fights. And I'm going to equip her with the Conformer, that's her ultimate weapon. We also have the Zedrich, and we have the ribbon accessory to protect against all status ailments. For her materia, we've got a pretty good setup for her. We've got the counterattack materia. We also have double cut to attack twice in one turn. We have added effect paired with Hades, that's incredibly powerful as a combination. We have enemy skill, luck plus, magic plus, and finally Bahamut 0. Now, we are way over leveled for what we're going to do here. We basically just have to rely on double cut, but you can see with all of this equipment put together, we get half damage from all of the elements, and when we attack with a whole bunch of stuff, and we also defend against a lot of different status effects. So this is a really strong setup. Just generally, if you're going to fight, we'll probably do something like this when we do the battle arena at the Gold Saucer, but for now, we're just going to save the game and then run over toward the left. We'll go back to where we originally met Don Corneo. We just have to run all the way back to the pagoda in the distance. And now we're going to keep running away from the camera until we can get into the 5-story pagoda building way in the back. Now let's go forward and talk to the person for a cutscene. Oh, Miss Yuffie, will you be climbing the pagoda today? Yeah. Then I, Sacred Gorky, will be your opponent on the first floor.
Yo, they call me Shake. I'll be watching your fight with Gorky.
Then begin. Power change. So here's the first of the one-on-one battles. All we really need to do with Yuffie is just use double cut, and this enemy will be eliminated very quickly. That's pretty much the strategy going forward for all of the fights. There is one little caveat to the very last battle, but I'll explain that when we get there in case you want to know. Here I am, Miss Yuffie.
Of course. I thought you were just a girl, but you handled that pretty good.
Let's see how you do on next one. Alright, let's go up the stairs and we'll have our second fight against Shake.
Who's next? Are you blind? I'm right here. What? I gotta fight a punk? Heh, punk. I'm more of an adult than some bimbo girl. What did you say? See what I mean? That kind of anger is what makes you so immature. Don't pat yourself on the back until you beat me. Now watch. About the only thing you do really good is breathe. Are you sure you want to fight?
That little kid's kind of sassy, but so is Yuffie.
Stop yapping. So someone finally got past Gorky.
I guess it's Chekhov's turn.
Here I go, brat. Speed change.
Here's the second of the one-on-one fights with Yuffie. Just hold X to win, essentially. You just have to use double cut, and that will be the end of the fight. Even though the Conformer doesn't give us any materia growth, that's okay because these guys don't give a whole lot of AP anyway, and it's much better to go faster with the increased attack power than to get a little bit of AP when we can get a lot more by fighting headhunters when we get new limit breaks.
So you can fight a bit. Of course. Ho ho ho, it's been a while since I felt pain.
Alright, let's follow Chekhov upstairs for the third fight in the Pagoda. So even Shake's been defeated. It's been a while since you had to fight, eh, Chekhov?
Unfortunately, this is as far as it goes. Staniv, you watch over there. That ain't going to happen. I'll teach you about the strength of youth. Keep mouthing off like that, little girl, and you're going to get burned. I got insurance. Ho ho ho. We'll see if you still talk like that after you taste some of my sacred magic. Magic change.
Once again, we just have to use double cut to win this fight. The enemy will try to use stare down, which would normally paralyze us, but we've got the ribbon on, so it won't affect us anyway. You will see that the added effect Hades kicks in and poisons the enemy, so we can't get any side effects on us, but we can inflict a lot on the enemies if they're vulnerable to them. After the fight, let's keep on going.
I can't believe you beat me. Of course.
This should be interesting. It's been too long since I've had a chance to use my full power. And after Staniv goes upstairs, we will regroup and then head upstairs ourselves. And this will be the fourth fight of the arena against Staniv. The rule is the best fighter on each floor will be your opponent. This is a 5-storied pagoda, but the 4th floor is the highest.
In other words, no one has ever defeated me, Master of Weaponry. You still want to try? Just come on! I like you. Now watch. Weapon change. Once again, we're going to use double cut to win this fight. This enemy can use something called War Cry, which will inflict sadness on you. Not such a bad thing though, because we'll just take a little bit less damage at the expense of our limit gauge filling up slower. Doesn't really matter though, one double cut will finish him off, and then we're going to be moving on to the top floor of the pagoda and the final fight here. What? Of course. Splendid. You have definitely improved. Ho ho! You might not be as much of a child as we thought you were. Of course, if we lost to her. You have defeated 4 of our best. Now you will have to face him. And they're all going to go upstairs single file. We're going to regroup and then head upstairs for the final battle, and we're going to get some special rewards for completing this. Dad? I'm glad you made it this far, Yuffie. Why are you... I'll answer you by having you try your skills against me. Hold nothing back. Come as if you are trying to kill me. If you don't, then I'll have to kill you. Hey! What are you doing? Omni change! Here we go against the big boss of the pagoda, and he's really no more difficult than the other enemies we fought here. One double cut should be enough to finish him off. Interestingly, he's one of the few places in the game that you can learn the enemy skill called Trine. I already have Trine learned on the 2 enemy skill materials that I plan to use, but if you grab that 3rd enemy skill materia in Junon's basement, then feel free to equip that on Yuffie and learn it here. A quick note about that though is that if you have 2 enemy skill materials equipped, and if one of them already knows Trine, the other one cannot learn it. So you've got to take off the enemy skill materia that already knows Trine in order to learn it on the new materia. Well, let's keep on going. We get All Creation, which is the item that we need to teach Yuffie her final limit break, and we'll do that in just a moment after this cutscene. Old, cute, not bad. You've also improved. If you know why that sound effect is used there, please let me know down in the comments, because that's really weird. It's time I gave this to you, Yuffie. This is Leviathan Materia. Take it. And we get the Making Waves trophy by obtaining the Leviathan Materia. But, Lord Godo, Leviathan Materia should only be given to the person who conquers and takes over this pagoda. That is our custom. Custom, custom, custom. I'm so sick of hearing that. It's so stupid. Silence, Miss Yuffie. Then what about all of you? With all your power, are you satisfied being cooped up in this tower? Yuffie. You too, Dad. Just because you lost the war, you turned Wutai into a place like this. What do you mean? You turned Wutai into a cheesy resort town peddling to tourists. How dare you? The Chao statue and Leviathan are ashamed. She is a kid. What did you say? Yuffie, forgive me. It's all my fault. What are you saying, Lord Godo? Losing the war, turning Wutai into this. It was all my fault. Lord Godo! Silence! Yuffie, I am the same now as I was before when I wanted war. But after losing, I began to think, is strength for beating enemies? Or just something to show off? Might begets might. The same as Shinra. I knew you were looking for Materia for the good of Wutai. But the reason I hide my strength now is also for the good of Wutai. And now I realize both are necessary. Strength without determination means nothing, and determination without strength is equally useless. Lord Godo, you there, please take Yuffie with you. I perceived that you all have both determination and strength. After that, how can we refuse? All right, I don't mind. Go, Yuffie. For the sake of Wutai. Dad, I'll take care of the 5 sacred gods until you return. Go and come back alive. Duh. I like how they all walk around the mat. That's actually traditional in martial arts, where you do not step on the mat until you are ready and willing to fight. So all these people walking around it is just a good show of respect. Yuffie, wait a minute. After their battle is over, do you think they'll still want all their materia? Dad? Go, fight till the end, but come back with the materia. Hehe, you bet. Alright, now we just have to run all the way back down the pagoda. It's very quick though, we just have to go down 4 floors, running past all of the people that we fought before. You can talk to them if you want to, but it doesn't matter whatsoever. They just give a little bit more of the lore in the story. Let's head on out, and then we're going to keep on running back toward the camera so that we can go back toward the save point in the previous area. There is one more thing that we want to do in Wutai, however, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to run down along the river here, passing over the bridge, and then we want to go into Turtle's Paradise. Remember that you have to read the sign out front first in order for this to work. But since we read it earlier, we can come inside, run over to the counter, wait for the bartender to come close to us, and then we'll talk to him. First the ground started shaking, then that large star. You think it's all over? Congrats! You have just found all 6 flyers for the Turtle's Paradise. How wonderful! Now here is your prize just as we promised. Received Power Source, Guard Source, Magic Source, Mind Source, Speed Source, Luck Source, and a Mega Elixir. Pretty good reward. Please come again to Turtle's Paradise. We're looking forward to seeing you. Let's take a brief moment to open up our inventory. We'll see that we gained a lot of those source items. We got 1 of each kind as a reward for the Turtle's Paradise here. And now we have to go all the way to the bottom of our inventory so that we can get the item called All Creation. We're going to use that on Yuffie. That will teach her final limit break. And we also get the Meet Your Maker trophy for learning the All Creation limit break, which is Yuffie's final limit break. And here's a little interesting thing about that. All Creation does 1 attack against all enemies, which means that its damage is capped at 9,999. However, Doom of the Living, which is the previous limit break, that one attacks 15 times, and you can actually cumulatively do more than 9,999 damage against enemies if your strength stat is high enough. So actually, Doom of the Living is a stronger limit break, especially against single opponents. All that to say, both Doom of the Living and All Creation are very good attacks in their own way. It's up to you which one you want to actually use. I'm just going to keep it as Doom of the Living then, and now we're going to leave Wutai. As far as the main storyline goes, Wutai is completely optional. You never have to come here, but because there were trophies related to it, it became mandatory for us to do. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you are finding it helpful and entertaining. If you are, please be sure to hit that like button and also comment down below. Those things really help me out, and also subscribe so that you can stay up to date with the rest of the series. In part 16, we're going to do a world tour collecting a lot of treasures and good things, and then I'm going to show you an amazing trick for how to get a gold chocobo very quickly and easily. You are not going to want to miss that. So I'll see you soon for part 16. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good day.